Hey Belmont Eagles, you're with Miss Verman again this week doing a Virginia Studies walkthrough of the new nation. This is a very short and sweet unit, so it's going to go by pretty quick. Alright, so when we first started off this unit, we talked about George Washington. We know that he's from Virginia. We knew that he was elected as the first president. He showed strong leadership, and he modeled leadership for future presidents. That is why he's called the father of our country. Alright, so we have the Constitution. That is a document for all of the United States, not just Virginia. Now that the war was over, they had to have a plan, and the Constitution allowed the states to act as one nation. And remember, we have the Constitutional Convention that was in May 1787. I don't know why, but I'm having a hard time saying some of these words today. You also have our good buddy James Madison. He took notes and tried to solve problems at the convention, just like what Mr. E would do or Mrs. Choi would do. He helped people compromise or agree when each side gives up things. So if the sides weren't agreeing on something, one side would say, well, I'll give up this if you give up this, and that's how they were able to agree. And James Madison is known as the father of the Constitution. Alright, you have good old James Mason. He wrote the Virginia Declaration of Rights, which later helped to form the Bill of Rights. And the Virginia Declaration of Rights was written in June of 1776. It states that all Virginians have two basic rights, and there's more, but the two basic ones you need to know are freedom of religion. That means that people can follow any religion, or not to follow one at all. So if you wanted to believe that there was a flying, one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater, you can believe in that, or you don't have to. You have the choice. Freedom of press, that people have the right to express their feelings in writing. Alright, you also have good old Thomas Jefferson. We've already met Thomas Jefferson because he wrote the Declaration of Independence. But he also wrote the Statute for Religious Freedom in 1779. A statute is a law. So the Statute for Religious Freedom, it says that people should be free to worship as they please. So just because I believe in something doesn't mean you have to believe in it. And just because you believe in something doesn't mean I have to believe in it. People should not be required to support any religion. And so back in this time, you had groups of religion in the colonies, and you did not have to be part of one or the other. You could choose whatever you wanted to choose. So I know, reflecting back on this year, the Statute for Religious Freedom and the Virginia Declaration of Rights are where you guys got mixed up. So remember that the Virginia Declaration of Rights, freedom of religion and freedom of press fell under that. And the Statute for Religious Freedom only talked about religion. So don't get those two confused. They are separate. They may talk about two of the same things, but they're two separate things. Alright. During this time, you had westward expansion. So why did Virginians move south and west after the Revolutionary War? Virginians moved west to the deep south for better farmland and new opportunities. So here's Virginia right here. Virginians went out west, or they went down south, and they went through to the west through the Cumberland Gap. Settlers migrated, and they crossed the Appalachian Mountains through the Cumberland Gap. Cumberland Gap, Cumberland Gap, Cumberland Gap. Alright, so tobacco farming was tough on soil, so they couldn't grow much. They needed new land to farm. Many Virginians needed to leave to find new jobs because of new machines that came out with farming. So they migrated to Western territories in search of large land and new opportunities. As they moved, they took their enslaved people, traditions, and ideas and cultures with them. Many enslaved people were sold to people in the South. Settlers crossed the Appalachian Mountains through the Cumberland Gap as they migrated to the new lands of the West. All right. Students, I want to encourage you this week. I know that we're doing a lot of online learning, but the great part of all this online learning is that you guys don't have SOLs, and you really can dive in deep into what we're learning about. So I encourage you, please, I know that some of you are doing the Google Docs, but I want to encourage you to make a poster. I want to encourage you to make a PowerPoint or a video of yourself. You have a great opportunity to research and really learn more information than what we would be doing in school. So take that time. Go crazy with it. There's a lot of great websites on our class page this week that can provide you great information. So I hope you challenge yourself, and I want to see what you come up with. All right, have a great week, 4th graders.